Any reason why Roy substitutes a lot? They go full tilt, get to the arc. The point guard, whether it's Rayford or Vaughn, will acknowledge.
Well, outside of Mr. Robinson doing what he does best, Purdue has been raining threes here in the first half, thanks in large part to Glenn Robinson, and they've also gotten 15 points off the bench.
Well, Frank Kendrick, the Purdue assistant, of course, you're always going to say nice things about a great player like Glenn Robinson. He was just saying that he's enjoying being a college student and that he loves being with his age group, enjoying the things that young adults can. And a future ahead of him as well. And just a beautiful basketball performance.
Richard Scott, who only shoots 48% from the line, gets the first of two with 1:07 to play.
Gold medal in the World Games. Guess who was on that team? Glenn Robinson. There's Alan Henderson, another guy.
Purdue by 1. And we come up on 1 minute to play.
The changing looks have helped Kansas get back in. Here's a little trap out of the 1-3-1. He used a lot of clock spreading. Nobody busted into the post behind Ostertag. It's open.
Robinson around Ostertag. Over him. Robinson gave Ostertag a challenging look, and Ostertag shook his hand.
He said, nice
job.
You did a heck of a job. Nice personality by Ostertag, but the force of a primetime performer, strong massage, and then the whoop and the look down. Look at the quick feet, and Ostertag, who was in position to defend, just could not recover.
Glenn Robinson has just reached his average, his season's average. He has 30. He came in averaging 30.4 on the year. I think he felt the presence of a big-time game.
He's stepping on McNary down underneath, trying to check out Ostertag. Gene sensing his big guys competing and tired.
Purdue by 4.
A spread for the last one.
Woodbury at 3 seconds. Tap up and in.
I think Scott got it.
At the buzzer, that one will not count if it goes. What a first half. What a performance from Glenn Robinson. 30 points, 9 of 17 from the floor, including 6 of 9 from three-point land. And Purdue leads at 44-42. Back to Pat O'Brien and James Brown in the studio after this.
Exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by Mazda, Busch Beer, and by Hertz.
Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel.
Oh,
Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
This time around, you can fly without wings. You can reach the heights, soar in the endless night. This time around, you can fall without fear, because everything's possible. This time around.
When Murphy sees a whole new side of Miles, will their friendship go south?
I didn't see that much. I don't want to... What is that supposed to mean?
All new Murphy Brown, Monday.
Here at the Sports Arena, Louisville has overcome double-digit halftime deficits in 2 of its last 4 games. They were down by 9 here. Now the lead has been up to 12 by Arizona. Khalid Reeves is back in the game, and he's out there guarding DeJuan Wheat. Here is Morton in the lane. Hits the jumper, so Morton now with 12 points. He's the leading scorer for the Cardinals.
Cardinals have to make a run. They can't make a run unless they put pressure up court, especially after a score.
Here's Reeves sliding in, and Minor picked it out of the air. Here's 2-on-2. Morton going in, and is fouled. It was Williams and Geary back defending against Dwayne Morton, the senior from Louisville, Kentucky. 3 of the starters for the Cardinals are from Louisville. And that foul will be against O's, his first.
Nice block here by Rozier. They released it to Morton. Morton made a nice decision here, not kicking it over to Wheats. He had the angle. He knew either he'd get a basket or 2 foul shots. He ends up with 2 foul shots, no basket.
So Dwayne Morton, a 71% shooter on the line, suffered a broken bone in his right wrist in preseason, so it took him a while to get on track. Hits the first free throw. Damon Stoudemire will come back in the game for Arizona. The story with Stoudemire coming in as part of the 1-2 punch in the backcourt with Khalid Reeves, averaging 18 a game, but Stoudemire has yet to score in this game and has missed all 5 shots from the field.
This young guy Morton here, that his biggest asset is his first step. You let him have that first step, he's history. He's gone by you.
Here comes the pressure by Louisville, trapping full court.
What you're looking at is a diamond 1.
They get it up to Geary. Geary finds Reeves. Reeves looking for 3, and he's got it. That's number 5, Khalid Reeves, with 15 coming from downtown. 23 points in the game.
He'll kill you every time. With Reeves, I would go combination, either triangle 2 or box 1 on him.
So it's an 11-point lead, and on the steal, here's Reeves beating Minor to the basket. He's got 25, and Louisville, every time they make a mini run, Denny Crum sees the turnovers, and Arizona capitalize.
Well, I don't think that Arizona can make a run if you shut down Reeves, especially with Stoudemire having a bad game offensively.
Morton with a good first step. You just pointed it out. Basket counts and a foul. There was that first step by Dwayne Morton, and Louisville player is shaken up. And it's Greg Minor on the court.
Here's the pressure. 1-2-1 zone with a man playing isolated zone. 3. Now here's the breakaway coming back the other way. So easy with that step.
But Greg Minor on the court was hit in the mouth or nose. That last foul was on Blair, his second. Louisville trailing here by 11 points, and Clifford Rozier. There is that big first move by Morton. Watch Minor, number 23.
Yeah, Morton came down and kind of raked across his face. Looks like he's going to be okay.
Arizona had a 15-point lead in the final stages of the opening half. Louisville scored 6 in a row in the first basket to start the second half. Looked like they were making a run, but Arizona has kept them at arm's length.
Well, we might be looking at a replay of the game against Minnesota with Morton starting to heat up.
They were down by 12 with the Cardinals against the Gophers and came back and won that game 60-55. So Tick Rogers has come in the game replacing Minor, and Morton shooting. He makes the 3-point play. Morton has been offensively a one-man gang, 17 points. 10-point lead, Arizona. They break it to Blair, and it's back as Rozier defensively.
One of his better decisions.
And they're going to call Rozier. He just fell on Stoudemire, and you could hurt a guy like that.
Stoudemire was down by his knees. Rozier didn't mean it, but he just couldn't get adjusted.
So for Rozier, his second foul, he is only 1 for 4 from the field, if you've just joined us. And Clifford Rozier, who came in the game averaging nearly 19 points a game and 11 rebounds, has only 3 points. And in fact, in the last 2 games, 5 points in this tournament. so he's ice cold. Getting doubled, though, and the ball goes in. Blair with a good pass from Stoudemire, and Rogers comes down with it for the Cardinals, down by 10. Here's Wheat, trying to draw the charge of Stoudemire. Looking for Rozier, can't get it to him.
Around to Martin quickly, not too slow. I would have skipped it over to him.
Blair's doing a great job on Rozier, and traveling call on Osborne will turn it over. But I'll tell you, Joseph Blair, and when they get the ball to him, doubling up, Arizona's defense has been sensational in this game.
Well, Luke prides himself on the defense.
Here is Stoudemire. Now Geary. Reeves, another three. Over the top, not this time. He's got 5 3-point baskets and 25 points in the game. Ray Owes will come back in the game for the Wildcats, and Geary will check out.
Louisville's hanging around, staying tight. They're only down 10. If they get a little run, they're right back in this game, and then their athletic ability could sneak them a win.
Arizona going with more height. They've got Williams, Blair, Owes in there. Louisville shooting 38% in this game. Rozier loses it.
Rozier starts his move before he got the handle of the ball.
He's playing like he's in a fog. Lead is 10 for Arizona. But this game is not put away by any stretch. And Reeves is pushed in the lane. That'll be the 3rd foul against Louisville, non-shooting. Rozier's struggling, and a lot of it you can credit to Arizona's collapsing defense.
And they're completely collapsing off the weak side of the court. That's the side of the court the ball is not on.
Al, how's this for Arizona's defense in the tournament? They held Loyola Maryland to 28%, Virginia to 31, and 38% now for Louisville. Stoudemire misses. He still can't buy anything. He's 0 for 6 from the field. But Arizona leads nonetheless.
Just want to get the ball to Reeves.
Williams into Owes, or Williams. Williams hits. Corey Williams with a 3-point basket. That's 8 in the game for the Wildcats. Up to 13-point lead. The biggest lead for Arizona was 15 points late in the first half.
They lay off Rozier. He will not shoot from the outside. Osborne will.
He's open. He hits Osborne. So Louisville's starting to get percolating a bit from 3-point territory, and it's a 10-point game.
But you expect any moment for this guy to break out, Stoudemire.
Not scored yet. Here's Reeves, slacked away, and a fine play by Tick Rogers. He's got Wheat with him. Wheat will draw the foul. Louisville coming back, showing a little more zip than they did in the first half, Al.
That time Wheat made a nice move by turning his body and not creating a charge. Try to make a turn here. They got their hands in, slap it away. Tick here. Rogers. Watch this move here. Moves his body sideways. No charge.
Stoudemire with his 2nd foul and team foul number 5 for Arizona. Here's DeJuan Wheat. You notice that the rest of the Louisville team shaved their heads for a sign of unity, but DeJuan Wheat was the only starter who did not shave his head. And his reply to that is, well, every team needs one oddball, and I'm in.
He's not an oddball. He's freshman of the year in the Metro Conference.
Timeout.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there. Now get up to $100 back on selected RCA home theater televisions.
So, does it ever get any easier?
I don't think it's supposed to. It's a sophisticated flight simulator. But around here, we call it the box. Even though it doesn't fly, it's sure going to test how well you can. At American, we come here twice a year to get checked out. You know, I don't know of another airline that puts more emphasis on training.
See you in 6 months.
Oh, I'll be back. But if you happen to be sitting behind me, I bet you'll agree. It's worth it.
If you demand more from an aftershave than that same old alcohol burn, you need more than the same old aftershave. Sensitive from Old Spice. It's alcohol-free because alcohol burns. That's why they took it out and put these cooling sensate scent. For real refreshment to go with that great scent. It's proof aftershave doesn't have to hurt to work. So use Sensitive, or you might get burned. Take the heat out of aftershave. Demand proof. Try alcohol-free Sensitive from Old Spice.
Dear car owners, if you had a brake problem tomorrow, could you think of one brake specialist to go to? Where can you go for same-day brake service? A guarantee on brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car. And the expertise of doing over 2 million brake jobs a year? Midas.
Think of us as the brake specialists. We're pretty good at mufflers, too.
Monday, Georgie and her spy expose a secret men's club.
This looks like a tape recorder. It's a heart monitor combination tape recorder.
Hearts Afire after Murphy Brown Monday.
Game summary, Khalid Reeves, who did not score for 5.5 minutes to start this game. 25 points and 5 from downtown. Rozier, that's been a story for Louisville. On track, no way. 3 points and 4 boards. Shooting percentages are in the 40. Khalid Reeves, senior from Queens, New York, coming off a 32-point performance and a 30 in round 2. Stoudemire, and a timeout called in the nick of time.
A tradition unlike any other. The Masters on CBS.
This time around, we'll dance. We'll dance down the rooftops. Dance up the thunder. And we'll ride the rhythm. Because everything's possible. This time around.
We may not be the first to promise you the sun, the moon, the stars, but we may be the first to actually deliver them. Introducing the new Camaro convertible. What else would you expect from the country that invented rock and roll?
Finally, alone together. This is my secret little place.
Alfredo.
Ciao, bello.
Jerry, this is my brother Alfredo.
Brother?
And Sophia. Hello, Bella.
Oh, hello. Why don't you join us?
Are they going to be coming to the movie?
American Express.
Right, no preset spending limit.
Don't I know it?
To apply for the card, look to this display and take one.
Enjoy.
You are watching the NCAA Basketball Championship on CBS.
Louisville, which has been down by as much as 15, trailing by 8. Arizona, after the call in the timeout, gets it into Stoudemire. He loses the ball to Greg Minor. And Osborne firing away misses. That would have been a big basket for the Cardinals. They rushed the hoop, however, and now Stoudemire brings it back down. And away with a walk. No traveling called, and Stoudemire gets his first points of the game, and it comes with 11:15 remaining in the second half. Louisville still intent on going for the threes, because Rozier not a factor. Arizona has totally closed him out inside. Now here's Rozier.
There's the double down again by the guard.
Wheat penetrates nicely. And it's tipped up and in, and that'll be Tick Rogers with the basket. He has all 4 points Louisville has off the bench.
They just can't shake Louisville. They're playing much better than them. Arizona, they just can't shake them.
Reeves right now in the game with O's, Geary, Blair, and Stoudemire, and the pushing foul against the Cardinals. Neither team in the 1-and-1 situation. That foul is on Rozier, his 3rd personal foul.
Rozier, you got approximately 10 minutes here, 10 and change. Either you got to do it now or you're going to end up getting your golf clubs out.
Stoudemire off of Blair. Reeves has it. Rozier actually, Al, has matched his points and fouls with 3. And a basket for Ray O's. He did not have control, but he recovered in time, and now he has 9 points. So Blair and O's have 9. Reeves, of course, the high scorer with 25. Here's Osborne. He can't hit downtown, but he gets the loose ball after Minor tipped it out. Tick Rogers inside, and Rozier knocked away. It is still Louisville ball.
Watch Reeves here. Draw everybody to him, then he'll dish it off for an automatic.
9:48 remaining in the second half. Crowd did not like that call. They're pro-Arizona here. A lot of the Pac-10 fans are here, and Arizona bought tickets that were turned back by other schools in this regional.
And Arizona normally plays USC here once a year.
But they haven't played here in the last couple of years because of circumstances. There was an ice show 2 years ago, and this year the earthquake, and they ruled that the sports arena wasn't safe enough, so they had to move to the Forum both times. Here's Wheat missing downtown, and the rebound by O's. Louisville is horrendous shooting the threes, and that's kept them out of close contention. They're 4 for 19. Stoudemire misses, but Louisville hangs in there, down by 10.
That was a good board that time off the glass by Rozier.
Here's Osborne. Tick Rogers gets the offensive rebound. Minor fights for the loose ball. 2-on-1. Stoudemire has Geary with the laying. Reggie Geary.
Good concentration by Geary that time. He knew the man was coming at him. He ducked his head and made the basket.
So Geary, O's, and Blair all have 9 behind Reeves, 25 for the Wildcats. And they're up again by 12. Winner gets Missouri, a thriller in the first game tonight, a 10-point win in overtime over Syracuse. Here's Minor with Rozier setting a screen, but it's a brick. We've seen a lot of that tonight from the Louisville shooters. Reeves penetrating nicely. What a quick first step he's got.
Yes, he called for the ball, then he could see the opening.
So it's a 14-point lead, and Denny Crum wants a timeout.
Clock is working against the Cardinals.
The Cadillac DeVille, all new for 1994. Its reshaped design has really taken off. And now for a limited time, DeVille lets you take a couple of years off from car payments. For a single upfront payment of $11,264, you can relax for 24 months. And by making all your payments in advance, you save $743. The Cadillac DeVille with Smart Lease Plus. It gives your checkbook a rest. Cadillac DeVille, creating a higher standard.
At the Laporte Vineyards, owners Victor and Beth Laporte knew varietal grapes, but profit sharing and pension plans they knew little about. So they turned to someone who gave their financial needs the same care they accorded their wine. Dean Witter.
Where we invest is in the individual. What we invest is our time, our expertise, and our care.
So the Laportes can now not only enjoy success, they can taste it. Dean Witter.
We measure success one investor at a time.
Who's got the winning color?
Hey fans, this three-point play could get you to the Final Four. Game cards are inside specially marked cases of Pennzoil motor oil. Or will you get your oil changed professionally with Pennzoil? Scratch, match, and win one of 4 trips for 2 to the Final Four in 94 or 95. Or any of 10,000 other prizes. What a slam fest this is going to be. So fans, get your Pennzoil now and... You got the winning color! Oh man, what a game!
This time around, you can fly without wings. You can reach the heights, soar in the endless night. This time around, you can fall without fear. Because everything's possible. This time around.
Will Wood leave Evening Shade to coach in the NFL?
I'm all for it, as much as any wife can be for something that might possibly rip her family apart.
Well, she's sold.
All new Monday.
Cliff here is more a traffic cop. You got to get more intense into the game and attack the glass. Now watch here, the shot goes up. He doesn't attack the glass. Blair comes right around him.
The aggressive people have been Blair and O's inside. And off the bench, Kevin Flanagan, who played very well defensively in the first half. Quick double team as they go to Morton and Miner inside out. Osborne gets the offensive rebound, and it's tipped and missed. Rozier still has it. He is fouled, so Rozier will go to the line. He has scored only 3.
In that position right there, Cliff, I thought you should have turned around and just stunk it. I know you're trying hard, but get your head in the game. He averages 18.5 a game. He scored 2 in the game against Minnesota and only 3 in this game.
And of course, you know, we don't want to give the impression that Louisville just rides only Rozier's play. I mean, Arizona's defense has been there, but when all is said and done, you're going to look at the numbers that Rozier puts up and decide how Louisville responded to Arizona.
But you can never count Benny Crum out. All of a sudden, this team can just blow you out in a period of 3 or 4 minutes.
Rozier makes both free throws. Louisville was within 8 points, but the Cardinals had gone cold. They missed 6 shots, and Arizona went up by 14. It's a 12-point game now. And a foul at the other side called against the Cardinals, and that'll be Tick Rogers with his second. Team fouls, Arizona 6. Their next foul will be 1 and 1, and the Cardinals still have 1 to give before the bonus.
There's Reeves again.
Reeves way short, an air ball. Rozier gets the rebound, so a chance for the Cardinals to get back to the 10-point mark. Osborne looking inside, and it's blocked by Blair. Louisville still has it.
Crowd wanted goaltending.
Osborne leaves it to Morton. They got to depend on Morton scoring, and he's coming through for them. 19 points now for Dwayne Morton.
It's back down to 10. It seems like a 24-point spread, but it's only 10.
Louisville had missed 10 in a row before Morton made good on that jumper.
Coach Lou Olson wants a set offensive play here.
Stoudemire blanketed by Morton. Gets a good move past Morton. Oh. And Blair comes in, gets the ball back, and lays it in. Tell you, Blair did a tremendous job inside for Arizona. Imposing.
He's having one of his best games in his history.
11 points and 10 rebounds for Joseph Blair. Rozier lost the ball out of bounds. So Arizona will take it over on the turnover, and they're delighted.
There's a play inside there where Blair stays with it. Quick hands. That was almost impossible to catch. Yogi Berra couldn't have caught that one.
Unless it was in the dirt. That's the 13th turnover by Louisville, trailing Arizona by 12.
There's the rub off.
Stoudemire uses a screen from Blair. Damon Stoudemire, and I'll tell you, Joseph Blair very quietly doing the job all over the court, even without the ball.
When they pull up that high pick on top of the key, and you got a guy with the body size of Blair, you can really use him.
Morton in and out, and Arizona can establish their biggest lead of the game here. Reeves, Stoudemire, and Osborne gets the rebound. Stoudemire is 2 for 11 from the field, having an off night, but that hasn't affected Arizona's advantage here with 5:20 remaining.
You got to now score to set up your full court pressure. If you don't score, you can't have full court pressure.
Morton, and they're going to call the pushing foul against Geary.
This is what Reeves been doing most of the day. There's Stoudemire moving them right off the pressure there, off the block, and gives them a simple three-pointer from the top.
Geary with 3 fouls. See, Louisville 4 for 21 from three-point territory. Arizona has 9 and 5 from Khalid Reeves, who has 27 points. But on the free throw line now is Dwayne Morton, a 71% shooter. What do you think? Louisville will wear the black jerseys anymore? I don't know.
I think that these things might be retired after one game.
Put them in mothballs.
Now, the only chance they got to turn them over.
Morton looking for his 21st point of the game. He came in averaging 15. And it's a 13-point game. Arizona leading. 5:08 remaining, second half.
Now, they had to put pressure on that time. They had to. Down under 5 minutes.
Geary to Reeves. Spins in. And Stoudemire can't save it, so Louisville will take over. Good hustle that time by both Arizona guards.
Need a hot hand, especially from three-point land now.
Louisville, 2-time NCAA champions. Last year they lost to Indiana in the Midwest Regional Semifinals. But they have been ice cold from three-point territory. Only 4 for 21. Morton working his way in against Geary. Dick Rogers from the corner misses another 3. They're 4 for 22, and Arizona has it again, leading by 13.
Blair is just boxing them out from the basket. He won't let Rozier get near it.
And Reeves got hit, and a timeout is called, and it looks like he hurt his right ankle or hand.
23 into the ball game for Louisville.
Greg Miner will come in for Louisville, and we're going to see Corey Williams enter the game for Arizona. Reeves will go out with what may be a cramp in his right leg.
Normally that would be a cramp, and when I used to coach, that's why during the season and playoffs like this, you'd give them salt tablets.
Time is beginning to run out for Louisville with 4:15 to go. Can't say they can rely on threes to get back because they haven't been able to hit them. There's Stoudemire missing a shot, and it's deflected off of Stoudemire. It'll be Louisville ball, but I think it should be Arizona's ball. It might have gone off weak.
I would go with the call. I still say the replay will show that the refs were right.
Wheat and Osborne with Miner, Rozier, and Morton. Arizona really not letting Louisville do anything except take long three-point shots. Osborne working inside. See, Louisville can't get their initial three-point attempt off. They have to try extra passes. Osborne is hit in three-point territory, and holding his head is Corey Williams. He knew he made a mistake, and it'll be a 3-shot foul for Osborne at the line.
And it might be a dream, but maybe not. If he can make these 3, they're only down 10, and there's 3:43 left.
Now, Al Osborne is only a 57% shooter. By the way, he's the first forward to lead Louisville in assists since Billy Thompson, who played on the '86 NCAA champions. So Osborne, not the one you want on the line if you want the red and black of the Cardinals. He's got one left, looking, hopefully not get the hat trick. Reeves is back in the game, so whatever ailed him has been solved. Khalid Reeves coming in with 27 points. Has hit 5 of 10 from downtown. Louisville has been pretty good from the line until now. Only 1 for 3 for Osborne and 13 for 16 in the game.
It's hard to press a team that plays a 3-guard offense.
12-point lead for Arizona. They have the ball and the clock on their side. Stoudemire putting the ball on the floor with 6 seconds on the shot clock. Leaves it open there for O's. Tipped up by Geary. I'll tell you, the offensive rebounding at the right time, doing it for Arizona.
Give them a new clock. Take it down to about 11-12 again. They want spread now. And when they spread like that, Reeves one-on-one, that's what they call a playground move, a blacktop move. He'll clean your clock.
And while Stoudemire hasn't scored, he has 8 rebounds tonight. Here's Geary for 3, a big one. And you can sense that Arizona will take its number 2 seed into the regional final on Saturday against the number 1 seed Missouri Tigers with 2.5 to play now.
This region makes the selection committee look like geniuses.
Minor with a jumper. How about Purdue and Duke? 1 and 2 in that region in the Southeast. And a Louisville foul. It'll be their 16th foul. One more and it'll be 1 and 1. Cardinals never got on track in this game, never had the lead. And right now the lead is 13. And Wayne Morton with his 3rd foul.
I doubt whether they could have got to the Final Four in Charlotte, North Carolina, because their bench just wasn't deep enough and they didn't have mature guards. A mature guard is a key to get to the Final Four.
They'll graduate Morton and Greg Minor from the starting unit, but they needed Rozier to come up and have a big game, and it didn't happen.
One of the other things I think that's a key of getting to the Final Four and winning it all, I think on your team, you got to have 3 NBA first-round draft choices over the 4 years, Dick.
Yeah, you know, you're right. It comes down to that. You look at the teams like Carolina, Michigan, Duke, teams that have been there. You got to have the numbers.
You got to have that trifecta of scoring ability out there, whether they're freshmen, juniors, or seniors.
4th foul on Minor. Stoudemire not doing the job scoring-wise tonight, but they didn't need it. Reeves with 27 points. Stoudemire with 7 rebounds in the game.
What Stoudemire brings to the table, Dick, a lot of people miss, he neutralizes all pressure. You put the ball in his hands, and there's no such thing as pressure, full court or half court.
He's also collected 6 assists to go with those 7 rebounds. Interesting that Stoudemire's choice came down between Louisville and Arizona.
Well, the kid's from Portland, Oregon.
Morton is short with it. Minor follows up with the basket with under 2 minutes remaining.
Louisville basket by Greg Minor.
This is the pressure they should have used early, but they weren't scoring, so you can't put the pressure on.
So you can't miss all those threes with the long rebounds and expect to put pressure on. And a timeout is called. No timeout. Greg Minor has left the game, and he is fouled out, having scored 13 points and 12 rebounds in his last game. He was a starter as a forward as a sophomore from Sandersville, Georgia. Finished the season as the 3rd leading scorer and 2nd top rebounder for Denny Crumsford.
He's been a consistent player and a good rebounder for a guard.
Stoudemire makes the first free throw. Well, Louisville headed for a setback. Will finish 28-6. For Denny Crum, though, elected to the Hall of Fame. He'll be inducted on May the 9th. He joins Dean Smith and Bobby Knight as the only 3 active coaches in the Hall of Fame.
They are chartering a plane and flying up, I think, 160 people for that dinner. That is a nice compliment to Coach Crum, and congratulations for getting into the Hall of Fame.
You've been to that Springfield affair, getting the big award.
It's a beautiful thing. I was so pleased last year my brother Dick got it.
Dick Rogers fires away, the rebound by O's. Arizona controlled the game from the start. Louisville tried to get back in. Not enough. Look at this exhibition by Stoudemire.
That's what you need, and every team is a water bug.
Inside to O. What an exhibition for Arizona, not only with the ball, but without the ball. They played an outstanding defensive game as Osborne hits a 3. Where were they earlier in the game when Louisville couldn't buy 3-point baskets? And a pushing foul called against Tick Rogers. So Arizona will now advance to the regional finals. And in the game here at the Sports Arena here in Los Angeles on Saturday, Arizona and Missouri. Missouri #1, Arizona #2 seed will tip it off at 3:40 Eastern time, followed by Duke and Purdue, who were the first and second seeds in the Southeast from Knoxville.
That game will be a war because Arizona comes close to matching with both force underneath.
Let me ask you this question now. Do you think that overtime win by Missouri over Syracuse might have taken something out of them going into Saturday's game?
No, it would have taken something out of Syracuse, but Missouri is deep and they're physically strong. Because when I said earlier about Missouri, the Tigers, they got about 9 guys with truck bodies.
They do, and they did, and Syracuse with great guards as Moulton and Autry with a tremendous 60-point effort between them in a losing cause.
That one guy there looked like Nightcore, he looked like Bull on the bench.
Each member of the starting 5 for the Wildcats in double figures, led by Reeves is 27 points. Tick Rogers with under a minute to go. 77-64 in favor of Arizona, and Louisville with the foul with Wheat stopping the clock. And right now, the Chevrolet players of the game, Dwayne Morton at this point with 21 points. Player of the game from Louisville, and Khalid Reeves, who had 27 points. And remember, Reeves did not score the first 5.5 minutes of this game, but he sure made him up in a hurry.
Well, he's the only recruit from New York City. Very rarely do they get one from that part of the country at Arizona.
Reeves makes the first, and you saw Dwayne Morton leave the ball game. He too is a senior, so Minor and Morton have played their last game in a Louisville uniform. 29 for Khalid Reeves. On the turnover, Stoudemire and Reeves couldn't hold it out of bounds.
I don't know if that 3 on his jersey is from hit from 3-point land or just accident that's number 3.
Well, it'll be interesting if he can get over 30, because he scored 32 and 30 in the first 2 games of this tournament. He's got 29 right now. He remains in the game. Matt Simons and Alvin Sims come in, and Dylan Rigdon comes in for Arizona. Reeves will go out having scored 29 points.
He's a tired young man.
But he will play another game, as will this Wildcat squad against the Missouri Tigers on Saturday.
A beautiful mix in this game of their baseline, especially with Blair and O tied in with their backcourt. They really controlled the game all the way.
Sims hits the 3. Louisville never led in this game. 79-67. And a foul called against Sims, and Stoudemire will go to the line. The win for Arizona will move them into the regional final for only the 2nd time in their history. Back in 1988, they beat the North Carolina Tar Heels, and Lute Olson's team advanced to the Final Four. for the only time, and they lost to Oklahoma in the national semifinals, and so much has been expected and anticipated of Arizona in recent years.
Well, Lute Olson had more pressure on him coming into this tournament than any of the 64 coaches. The last 2 rounds, he stubbed his toe in the first game out of the gate.
Right.
2 years ago, I think it was Eastern Tennessee, and last year it was the team from California.
And in '91, they lost to Seton Hall in the Western Regional Semis. Lost to UNLV 2 years prior to that in the semis, but they're going to the regional finals now. Wheat misses the shot. Erie brings it up 80-67. All 5 Wildcats started the game, scored in double figures, but their defense told the story of this game. And no basket. There's a foul as Dylan Rigdon. They're going to count it. It is a basket by Dylan Rigdon. Stoudemire goes out of the game. 11 points, 7 assists, and I think he picked off 7 rebounds as well.
Rigdon's an outstanding foul shooter. In high school, at one spot, he hit 50 out of 51. He's a transfer from UC Irvine.
And he missed it, and, you know, he had the longest streak of 29 in a row before he missed that shot.
Three-pointer by Jason Osborne. Talk about a leaner that time by Osborne.
3-point basket, and the game is over. Arizona wins going away. And Lute Olson will go against Norm Stewart in Saturday's regional final. Accepts congratulations from Denny Crum. Final score, Arizona 82 and Louisville 70. Morton with 21, the high scorer for the Cardinals, and Reeves had 29 for Arizona. Arizona now 28-5 on the season. So it'll be the number 1 and number 2 seeds clashing here at the Sports Arena, Missouri and Arizona. Pat O'Brien will come back with the update for you. Al McGuire and Dick Stockton saying so long from Los Angeles. Arizona prevails.
In order to make sure the interior of our new Chevy S Series would fit a wide range of people, I designed the seats.
And I designed the interior to give it more room than it's ever had before.
And both of us are very comfortable with that arrangement.
The '94 Chevy S Series. So new from the inside out. Everything else is history.
Maybe it's because their frames are welded instead of bolted. Or because their decks are stamped from a single piece of steel. Or maybe it's the fact that they have the highest resale value in the industry.
Oh, hey, I always wanted one of these. Thanks.
But the truth is, when people are asked what kind of lawn tractor they'd like as a gift,
Happy birthday, Dad.
most say the same thing.
Ms. Carpenito?
Oh, that's right. Carpenito Travel. Need a vacation?
No.
Hawaii, Jamaica, the Bahamas.
Listen, we understand you'd like to purchase a new HP LaserJet 4P.
Sure, I heard it'll make my packages look better.
And that's important to you, right?
Well, yeah, I put a lot into them.
Oh,
So,
and you'll need a new 600 DPI printer.
as many DPIs as I can get. Just think how good your itinerary will look.
Well, there you go. You need an HP LaserJet 4P.
Exactly. Now, where are we going to send you on vacation?
HP LaserJet printers. You do your job, we'll do ours.
Dude Ranch.
I'm allergic to dudes.
New from Pizza Hut, the ultimate pepperoni pizza. With zesty herbs and spices and thicker pepperoni for a whole new taste. This is the ultimate pepperoni pizza. But remember, one bite and there's no going back.
What tire do you trust in the wet? A tire that removes over 2 gallons of water per second from under the tread. The all-season MX-4. Another engineering splash from Michelin.
The world's greatest golfers, the sport's most prestigious honor, a tradition unlike any other. The Masters, starting April 7th on CBS.
Earlier
Early in the morning. Good morning, everybody from New York. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with the godfather of college basketball, James Brown. And JB, how you doing tonight? Arizona beats Louisville 82-70, and Louisville just kind of sat there the whole game.
Oh, speaking of sitting, I mean, Clifford Rozier sitting right in that little 6-foot area in the blocks, didn't do a good job of presenting himself, making a nice target. Plus, got to give a lot of credit to Arizona's defense, sloughing in there. Horrible game.
Arizona looks good. They're spinning through this tournament, and so they beat Louisville. They'll go on to play Missouri, who beat Syracuse 98-88. Missouri's last regional final was in 1976, and they lost to Michigan there. Down in the Southeast Regional, Purdue and Kansas, it was all big dog. Glenn Robinson, 83-78 was the final. The big dog scored 44 points on the night, and he had a big one. In the Southeast Regional, the other game, Duke beat Marquette 59-49. A little scare early in the game, but they prevailed, went on to win by 10 points, and now it'll be the big dog. Again, well, first of all, in the West, it'll be Missouri and Arizona. What an area this is. The 1 and 2 seed end up in that one, and that's the bracket out west.
Missouri deep. I don't think you can vote against them at all. Arizona, nice job in the backcourt, but still thin along the front line.
Moving along on our brackets in the Southeast, Duke and Purdue, Grant Hill against Glenn Robinson. That'll be some game to watch on Saturday. Moving along in the brackets, and we quickly go to the East, and there you see the games we'll have tomorrow night. We'll talk about that in a moment. Boston College, Indiana, Florida, and Connecticut. And in the Midwest, those 4 games yet to be played: Arkansas, Tulsa, Michigan, and Maryland. And we'll be back with more from New York City right after this. Stay with us.
This Camel system is so adaptive, it can travel 50 miles in desert heat without taking fluid, making it one of the world's most dependable animals. This automobile system is so adaptive that if necessary for your safety, it is engineered to travel 50 miles in desert heat without a single drop of coolant, which might also tell you something about its dependability. The Seville STS with the North Star system by Cadillac, creating a higher standard.
If I use Tylenol for aches and pains, and I do, then I should use Tylenol for headaches too, right? Well, no, I don't. I use Excedrin. Is there some great mysterious reason why? No, it's very simple. Tylenol's okay for headaches, but Excedrin relieves them better. That's it. Tylenol's great for lots of things, but for headaches, Excedrin works better. That's it.
Excedrin, the headache medicine.
I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gonna the dark.
Presenting the RCA 52-inch projection screen home theater. It's bigger and brighter than almost anything out there.
Sunshiny day.
Now, get up to $100 back on selected RCA home theater televisions.
Coast to coast, in little towns and big cities in between. One cellular network has everyone talking. Cellular One. Clear across America.
When Great Aunt Lillian dies,
How you holding up?
who's consoling who?
I don't have an Aunt Lillian. You do. I do?
Florence Henderson guests on Dave's World, Monday.
Clean desk can only mean one thing. It's almost time to go home. Let's give everybody our schedule for Friday now. Boston College and Indiana, our first game. Our coverage begins at 8 o'clock. In areas of natural interest, you will see that game from the beginning. Tips about 7:38. 7:30 will join you. Others at 8 o'clock, we'll see Tulsa and Arkansas. Tulsa still in the tournament against the #1 team in the country. Then at around 10 o'clock, our second tier of games in our doubleheader, Maryland and Michigan and Florida and Connecticut. Tip time approximately 10 o'clock. For James Brown, the godfather of college basketball, you'll be here tomorrow night, godfather?
Feeling good.
I suppose you do feel good. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with for everybody here at CBS Sports, including our crack research staff, the best in the business. Good night. We'll see you tomorrow, okay?
Sponsored by your Quality Plus Ford dealer.
Coming up next on CBS Sports, the NCAA Basketball Championship.
Your players were asked this too. Do they fear you at times on the court?
I mean, I wouldn't know why. I mean, I never carry a gun with me. I'm 53 years old. Who the hell am I going to scare? Out of shape? Bad back?
Like or dislike Coach Knight, you know, I don't think you can argue with how great of a coach he is.
Hi again, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. Welcome to our CBS Sports continuing coverage of the NCAA Championship Tournament. Tonight, we wrap up the regional semifinals with a primetime doubleheader. And by the time we sign off, we'll have cut the field down to the Elite Eight. In just a few minutes, we'll be taking you down to Miami Arena for East Regional play as number 9 seed Boston College, upset victors over mighty North Carolina, will challenge 5th seeded Indiana. The Eagles are keyed by center Billy Curley, who contained Eric Montross of the Tar Heels while maintaining his 22 points per game tournament scoring average. The Hoosiers are led by Alan Henderson. He's not flamboyant, but he gets it done. The 6'9" junior is averaging 23 points a game in this tournament. Now, in about a half an hour from now, Tulsa and top-seeded Arkansas will square off in the Midwest regional action down in Dallas. We'll catch a chunk of that action during halftime of BC, Indiana. And later tonight, Maryland plays Michigan with its Fab Four in the second game in Dallas. And in our other doubleheader game, Florida and Connecticut will hook up in the East Regional nightcap in Miami. James Brown will join us at halftime, and we'll be here throughout the evening with scores, news, live look-ins wherever possible. And right now, it is time for Boston College and Indiana. We'll send you out to Vern Lundquist and Clark Kellogg when the road to the Final Four continues on CBS right after this. Enjoy the games, everybody.
CBS Sports exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Wendy's Spicy Chicken Filet Sandwich, and by All Sport Body Quencher.
From Miami Arena in the heart of downtown Miami, Florida, it's game 1 of the East Regional semifinal tonight. The Eagles of Boston College take on the Indiana Hoosiers. This is the first of 2 later this evening. The second-seeded Yukon Huskies meet the Gators of Florida. Good evening, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist, and welcome to Miami. If you're Boston College, it's a simple task. You knock off the top seed in the East, North Carolina, and as a reward, you're told, okay, go down to Miami and take on another monster basketball program, Indiana. I'm joined by Clark Kellogg, who was given a hall pass out of the studio and back into the arena. BC Clark has a senior-dominated team. A lot of attention on Bill Curley, but they've got 3 guards who are really quality.
They really are. The triumvirate of Howard Isley, Gerard Abram, and Malcolm Huckabee is really what makes this team go. There you see what they do in terms of points per game. That's about 34, but they shoot the 3-point shot exceptionally well, and they're also excellent defenders at the other end of the floor.
Indiana comes in with a 21-8 record. They lost 3 of their last 4 in regular season, yet the NCAA tournament starts. They win 2. They're in an accustomed spot in Alan Henderson, one of the keys to their effort.
He truly is. You hear an awful lot about Damon Bailey, and justifiably so, but Alan Henderson has averaged a double-double this year, and in 5 of his last 6, he's gotten double-doubles. What BC does to contain him, I think, will go a long way in determining who wins this game.
We have been joined by a 3rd member of our broadcasting team for tonight. Here's Leslie Bissell. Les?
Thank you, Vern. Vern, what is it like to play legends back-to-back? Well, Jimmy O'Brien just told his team, hey, you guys were in this exact same position a week ago, and that worked out pretty well. He said that offensively, he wants them to push the ball in transition. Defensively, they're going to play a little zone. He noticed that Indiana had trouble against Michigan State 2-3. Well, it's a big night for Bill Curley. As you know, it's been a big week for Bill Curley. He became a cover boy. Bill told me, don't try to find this issue in Boston. His mother bought up all the copies. Vern?
All right, Leslie, here are the lineups on the left for the senior-dominated BC team. Abrams, Curley, Isley, Huckabee, and Abram. And for Indiana, Alan Henderson is joined by Brian Evans, Lindemann, Damon Bailey, and Todd Leary. Bobby Knight in his 23rd season as the head coach at Indiana University. And his counterpart in the middle of that huddle is 43-year-old Jim O'Brien, who is completing his 8th year as the head coach of Boston College, which is also his alma mater. The officials for tonight's game: Charles Raines, Jim Stupin, and Curtis Shaw. The standby official is Dan Chrisman. Indiana defeated Ohio University by 12 in the first round game, then got by John Chaney and Temple last week. And Boston College defeated Washington State coming from behind in the first round, and then the biggest win in the school's history, last week's 3-point victory over North Carolina. Curley and Henderson will jump it up. Charlie Raines will throw it up, and we're set to go.
It's time for us to hoop it up a little bit. I think the thing you're going to have to look for early is, can Boston College's guards put a lot of pressure on Indiana's perimeter people? Maybe force some turnovers, not allow them to get good looks at the three-point shot.
Henderson is guarded by Danier Abrams, the freshman, the one freshman in this BC lineup. And here's Alan Henderson, rims out, gets his own rebound, and again it rims out. It'll be Boston College ball.
Henderson has been dominant, especially on the offensive glass, and there you see an example of it on that possession, just unable to finish.
Howard Isley wears number 10. Gerard Abram, number 23. They look in the side for Curley. He's in a battle with Todd Lindemann. Huckabee. That's for 3.
That's what they like to do. They'll crank it up from behind that arc 20 times a game. They've shot 50 three-point shots already in this tournament as Boston College. They've made 19 of them.
Nice entry pass. The ball rejected off of Todd Leary's shot. Into the corner. Huckabee gets it back over to Abram. That's for 3.
They bring a lot of emotion and tremendous firepower from behind that arc. And with a team like Boston College, really important that they get off to a good start and allow that adrenaline to fuel them forward.
That'll help their start. That's an offensive foul. Called on Todd Leary. And Boston College leads it by 6. Abrams, nope. Curley with the tip. Curley with another tip. Lindemann gets the rebound. Lindemann for 2. Isley for Boston College. Abrams gets called for the foul underneath.
You can see here early, both teams playing man-to-man. Boston College would like to push the pace, and I think part of the reason they want to do that, Indiana's a little banged up. Bailey has a pulled stomach muscle. Todd Leary, Pat Graham, a guy who comes off the bench, is still bothered by a sore foot. Brian Evans has a dislocated shoulder. So stamina will be a factor if Boston College can up-tempo this pace.
Lindemann shot no good. There are 4 of those who are hurting for the injury university, somebody called it.
Appropriately so. Teron Wilkerson, we saw him go down with that broken leg last week.
Here's Isley going left. Another 3-pointer. Brian Evans and Todd Leary gets the rebound. Damon Bailey. Curley with a rebound. Foul up, hell ball. Possession arrow, Boston College.
After this first TV timeout, both teams will idle down. You see guys grabbing their pants a little bit. They've expended that adrenaline energy. They'll idle down and get that second win. And I think we're in for a game of tremendous runs both ways because of the ability of Indiana and Boston College to shoot three-point shots.
There's Danier Abrams. Entry pass to Abrams. Nice move. Got the shot.
Seal him and finish.
8-2 Boston College. 16:44 to go.
This is another matchup worthy of watching, folks, away from the ball. Bailey and Huckabee, both physical guards.
Bailey gets by Curley. Nice pass. And the basket goes.
Bringing the goal to Todd Lindemann. The personal foul.
And you take a look at Bailey finding Lindemann. See, Curley came over off Lindemann. The guard didn't step down to cut that pass off. And the big fella has a chance to put his 5th point on the board. And that's about what he averages.
Lindemann, a 7-foot sophomore from Channing, Michigan. (8-4). Curley. Saved by Henderson. And here comes Todd Leary. Lindemann will pass on this shot. Taken away. Loose ball. Indiana controls it.
Boy, look at that quickness on the perimeter. Boston College very active with their hands and feet.
5 on the shot clock. Off balance shot, no good. Outlet pass. Here's Abram.
That's all because of quickness on the perimeter, Vern. Unable to get a good look at the basket that time where the Hoosiers, the three-point shot force was the first pass to the fast break.
Henderson looks inside, gets the return pass. Ryan Evans, Curley with a rebound. 10-4, Boston College leads. Danier Abrams tries to save it on the line. Indiana ball. Bob Knight and the Indiana Hoosiers trail by 6. Time has been called.
Anytime you talk about winning a basketball game, glass eating always a key element. And here you see Billy Curley and the rest of the Eagles doing a nice job blocking out. They've outboarded the Hoosiers 8-4 so far.
Bob Knight has sent Pat Graham into the lineup, and Todd Lindemann is getting a rest. Paul Grant comes in now for Boston College along with Molinsky. No, Grant's not in there. It's Molinsky who's in.
Well, I think the 6-point lead here early gives Jim O'Brien an opportunity to go to his bench a little earlier than normal. You know, in their last win against North Carolina, all 5 starters scored all 75 points for the Eagles.
Matter of fact, in the 2 tournament games, Boston College has 4 points off the bench.
Molinsky dangerous from behind the arc.
Here's Huckabee. Back it goes to Molinsky. That's almost stolen away by Brian Evans. Now Huckabee works with Bailey. 9 on the shot clock. Danier Abrams knocked out of bounds by Alan Henderson.
You know, we talked about him averaging a double-double, but he's got 54 blocked shots on the year, too. And here he puts this one in reverse. Abrams doing some good work inside, but that time denied by Alan Henderson.
Only 4 seconds remaining in the shot clock. There's Curley. Taken down by Todd Leary of Indiana. 10-4 with 14-10 remaining in the first half. Bailey, little hesitation move, and thank you.
Paused him, parked him, and then put him away.
Molinsky. Nice pass. Huckabee passes on the shot. Molinsky will take it, and it's not there. Boston College ball.
Well, you take a look at Danye Abrams and what a difference he's made since he's been inserted into the starting lineup. Not only because of his numbers, he had a double-double in the win against North Carolina, but his presence gives Curley an opportunity to slither around in the paint and get more one-on-one matchups inside where he's really dangerous.
There's the third three-pointer of the first 6 minutes of the ball game, and it's a 13-6 lead.
Vern, you talk about that three-point shot, and it may be more demoralizing than a dunk.
That'll undemoralize you. Damon Bailey with a reverse layup. 13-8.
He's so effective, Vern, inside, because he played inside just about throughout his high school career and had to make an adjustment coming to college to move out on the perimeter. But he can still do a lot of work in the paint.
Huckabee from three, too strong. Pat Graham finds Damon Bailey, but sails it over his head. Let's go back and take a look at that last Bailey basket.
Here he is working on Huckabee, a good defender. There he is. He paused him, parked him, then he just gets around Curley. See, Curley did not shut off that baseline. You need to step on the baseline to keep that penetration from taking place. Good opportunity hoop by Bailey that time.
Kanye Abrams. Malinsky got it. His first basket in the NCAA tournament. And it's another three-pointer. It's 16-8. This is a Boston College team that has shot more than 200 more three-pointers than Indiana, but that's not unusual. Indiana doesn't use it that much.
Well, when they look at it, they're the best in the country at 45% from behind the arc, but because of Boston College's quickness on the perimeter, not very many good looks here in the early going for Indiana from behind the line. As a matter of fact, excuse me, Vern, not very many good looks at all for Indiana thus far.
Last foul was on Huckabee. That's his first and the third team foul. 12:22 remaining first half. Here's Pat Graham, bothered by that sore left foot. Hasn't been able to practice much. There's Graham. Back it goes to Bailey for three. Won't fall. Let's see if BC's moving now. Huckabee. Dishes right from Malinsky. 5 three-pointers.
The best time to shoot it, Vern, is in transition. Defenders are in reverse. They're running to the paint. They don't look at you to shoot that three, and Malinsky in stride, in rhythm, buried it.
5 of 8 from three-point range now for Boston College. And it's an 11-point lead at 19-8. Rebound, Curley. They own the boards as well, Clark. Isley, that's for three. Wow! And he'll be knocked out.
BC settles into the 2-3 zone.
14 points, Boston College lead. Graham, that's for three. Looks like an artillery range.
Well, we knew coming in the three-point line was going to be critical. And so far, BC having the best of it. And because of that, now they're able to slip inside for an easy one.
That was Howard Isley getting his 125th start for Boston College tonight.
Well, I think this is where Indiana really misses Sharon Wilkerson and his ability to handle the ball and get penetration. Nice feed inside to Henderson there.
24-13.
You know, the thing about shooting a three-point shot is that typically you can blow a team out, but also a team is never really out of the game when you cast up those three-pointers rather quickly.
Bill Curley and the Boston College Eagles lead Bobby Knight's bunch by 11. Time is controlled.
What happened? Chevy, got a minute, we got to talk.
You can.
Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien, along with James Brown, the godfather of college basketball, and welcome to CBS Sports' continuing coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Tournament. Tonight, we wrap up the regional semifinals with a primetime doubleheader. Right now, the first game of the evening is underway down in Miami. Boston College, who knocked off mighty North Carolina, is playing Bob Knight's Indiana Hoosiers. The score right now is 30-23, Boston College. They are in a timeout right now. And James Brown, let's look at the highlights so far. Boston College, everybody said they had played their big game. I think they're looking at this as their big game. They came out smoking. They are 6 for 9 so far in three-point range.
No question about it, and that's a good sign that emotionally they are fired up. Indiana, when it gets into its half-court offense, good looks inside like this. The Todd Lindemann work well, but Boston College, I don't know why there was a question about whether or not they would be fired up. Good defense leading to breakaway dunks like this. I say they're ready.
There's 7:48 left in the first half. They are not playing there right now. We'll get you out there as soon as we can. It's 30-23, Boston College. Elsewhere tonight in Midwest regional action, Tulsa and top-seeded Arkansas are getting set to square off down in Dallas. We'll catch a chunk of that action during halftime of BC Indiana. Later tonight, Maryland and Michigan, Fab 4 in the second game in Dallas, and our other doubleheader game. Florida and Connecticut will hook up in East Regional Nightcap in Miami. Right now, we are going to start you off with Boston College and Indiana. We join that action as we take you courtside, where Vern Lundquist and Clark Kellogg are manning the mics. Enjoy the games, folks.
7:48 remaining first half. Boston College up by 7. It had been a 14-point lead. And Boston College 6 of 9, Clark, in three-point shots.
Well, they really like to use that shot as a weapon. The only danger is when you get off to such a great start, you can sometimes settle too much and too easily for that three-point shot.
Well, Indiana's countered with 3 trays now. That one from Todd Leary, and it's a 4-point margin.
Well, you knew it was just a matter of time. Indiana leads the nation in three-point field goal shooting, and now they're starting to get some good looks at it.
How do you like it here on the range? 33-26. When they defeated North Carolina last week, they hit 12 threes. They've now got 7 in the ball game.
And they shot 31 threes in that game, Vern.
That foul, Clark, is on Steve Hart off the bench.
You know, typically that three is really a demoralizing shot, but I think in this game, because both teams use it so much and so well, it may not have the dampening effect on Indiana as it might have on some other teams that don't shoot it, because Indiana knows they too can get on a run shooting the three-point shot.
Boston College hit 6 of its first 9 from three-point range to jump out to a 14-point lead. Largest lead of the game was at 22-8. Now the Hoosiers behind Pat Graham have fought back, and they trail currently by 7. There's the rebound to Brian Evans. He's one of the injured Hoosiers with a dislocated shoulder. Damon Bailey pulled abdominal muscle. Pat Graham, bad foot. This is Todd Leary. Looks for Bailey in the corner. Whips it back to the three-point effort of Brian Evans, the sophomore from Terre Haute.
That separated shoulder is on the right hand. It doesn't bother his stroke, and he just stepped in and took a charge on Danye Abrams. A little acting job there by Evans. Drew the whistle. Let's take a look. Danye Abrams with a little contact. That's nothing worse than pedestrians bumping into each other during rush hour time.
Abrams picks up the foul. That is the 6th team foul. Pat Graham comes back into the lineup for Indiana. Evans, he'll shoot a couple. So to bring you up to date on what has happened thus far, 3-point field goals, Boston College 7 of 10, Indiana 4 out of 8. The boards have been owned by Boston College thus far. Pat Graham off the bench with 8 points, and he ignited the comeback for Indiana. Last foul was on Curley, his first, team 7th. And now Brian Evans will shoot the second of 2.
And the point you just made about the fouls, Indiana has only committed 2 team fouls, so therefore they'll shoot the rest of the way, and they'll be able to be aggressive defensively because the common foul won't lead to shots for Boston College.
What was once a 14-point lead is now a deuce. Grabowski. Entry pass goes to Curley, and it's kicked, so they'll inbound it with a fresh 35. Early lead Arkansas over Tulsa in a rematch. Those two teams played earlier this year. This is only the second meeting ever between Indiana. Boston College at 50% for the first 11 minutes. They've cooled down a little bit, Clark.
Yeah, they certainly have, and part of that is due to Indiana becoming a little more aggressive at the defensive end of the floor. We'll have an official timeout here. I think there's maybe a wet spot on the floor.
Yep. That'll be taken care of right quickly.
You know, I talked about Boston College needing to go into the lead, needing to go into halftime with the lead, just from a psychological standpoint, I think. And Indiana, on the other hand, if they can maintain this small deficit, they'd have to feel good going into halftime, only down 4 or 5 versus what it was 14 earlier in the game.
That 14-point edge came at 22-8 after BC hit 6 of its first 9 3-point shots. Isley. Oh, good pass to Rabowski, and a nice off-balance shot that doesn't fall, and then a travel.
You want to be quick inside, but not in a hurry. Rabowski did a lot of good things there and just got a little impatient on his missed retrieve.
Graham and Leary, along with Damon Bailey, Evans, and Henderson for Indiana. Arkansas still leads by 9 in the first game in Dallas. And of course, last night, Arizona and Missouri won out west. Little touch pass. Ah, that was terrific. Henderson, though, lost control on his way up. It will be Indiana's ball.
You've got to squeeze that orange when you catch it in tight with an opportunity to score. Henderson did not quite vice grip that one. Maybe the ball a little slick. Actually, Curley got a hand in there.
Evans. Rabowski didn't have to leave his feet for the rebound. That looked a little unusual.
Those are the best kind of boards, the flat-footed ones.
Right.
They all add up, Vern.
Save that energy.
When you talk about energy, neither team, and I didn't expect it from Indiana, but I think the fact that Boston College has kind of been riding with the parking brake on a little bit the last 6 or 7 minutes plays into the hands of Indiana because they're depleted in terms of depth, and they're also a little banged up.
Huckabee that time takes it all the way in and gets the basket plus draws the foul.
Right to the rack here. Beats Graham. Obviously Leary not there in time. Here we take another look. Little brush screen. That frees him from Graham. And then Leary just unable to get there to square up to Huckabee and committed the foul.
Huckabee shoots one. Already. Boy, Curley's having a battle trying to get open in the low post.
Alan Henderson did a nice job on him inside, and now Lindemann banging him around pretty good.
Abram. Evans with the rebound for Indiana.
Abram is explosive, but he's also prone to taking some ill-advised shots, and that was one there. Bailey.
Back to Graham. Skip pass. And there's Lindemann with Curley on him. Graham a little off balance. Hurried the shot. Huckabee for Curley. What a play! But that was a travel by Malinsky.
Boy, excellent presence of mind by Curley. Couldn't control it himself, but tried to tip it to a teammate. Malinsky just a little anxious to get to the hole.
Alan Henderson comes back in for Lindemann. And it's still 40-36 as we've got 63 seconds to go first half. Once a 14-point Boston College lead. Indiana climbed to within 2, but they have not tied it, nor have they led. Bailey off balance. Malinsky loose ball picked up by Abram. And he loses it. At the other end, it's 2-on-2. Leary all the way.
Boston College 40, Indiana 38.
Boston College should hold it for the last shot here to assure themselves of at least some kind of lead going into the locker room. They'll probably spread it out and let Huckabee try to penetrate for himself or penetrate and pitch. You want to get busy at about the 7-second mark.
Less than a second between the shot clock and the game clock. Almost stolen. Curley. Offensive foul.
Curley still not getting up. Oh, okay, just taking a little breather. Let's take a look. He splits the double team. Oh, my. He had his whole body by Allen Henderson, and they tangled up at the hip, and he got whistled for the offensive foul. At best, that should have been a no call.
Off balance. Oh, boy. Almost left. What was a 14-point lead is now 2. Boston College over Indiana.
Exclusive coverage of the NCAA Basketball Championship Regional Semifinal game is sponsored by Chevrolet Trucks, Wendy's Spicy Chicken Filet Sandwich, and by All Sport Body Quencher.
On the Pennzoil at the half, there's another game going on. Arkansas and Tulsa out in Dallas in the Midwest Regional. Arkansas leads 23-14, and we'll send you out there for some action when we come back. Stay with us. Doing a spirited Boston College team.
Spirited, effective. Boston College 7 of 10 from three-point land early on. That helped to get to a 14-point lead. But Indiana is in boot camp every week with Bob Knight. They can handle the storm. They're doing it right now.
They're up by 2 at the half, 40-38. Another game going on right now in the Midwest Regional down in Dallas. Tulsa and Arkansas has jumped out to a 28-17 lead. Tulsa came out fast, though. Poole Williamson buries the 3 there, and then Arkansas has been dominating inside.
Corliss Williamson, nice mobility from the wing or down low. This guy is shooting 75% down low. He can do it.
Right, our goal is to get as much action as possible tonight. They're in a timeout in Dallas, so we'll take a timeout here. When we come back, we'll give you action here on CBS. Hope you're enjoying the tournament, and hope you're enjoying your evening as well. Well, JB, action has resumed out in Dallas. 6:23 left before halftime there. Arkansas leads 28-19. Going to send you out to Jim Nance and Billy Packer. Enjoy a little taste of this.
Tulsa trailing by 9 and shooting only 30% from the field.
Jim, they're back into this game. You know, all the multiple substitutions that Arkansas has made, it's kind of given Tulsa an opportunity to get their feet back on the ground here.
Collier had to beat the shot clock. Arkansas racing now. They lob it. Williamson, goodbye. Wow. Boy, he stared down the cylinder.
Well, that ball, I think, was going in the basket. Williamson just went to put the finishing touches on it.
Inside, Rollo is held. Held by Martin. Spectacular play here by the Razorbacks.
Well, let's see. Dillard's such a great shooter. No. Good catching in.
Elton Martin, his first personal foul. He fouled number 4.
Perfect pass. And look at the big man, the SEC Player of the Year, Corliss Williamson, hustled down on that break.
Ball almost came back out of the cylinder, Bill.
And would not have been a basket. If a ball does not clear the net and bounces back out, it's not a basket.
Brower in for Tulsa for the first time. Number 24.
Son of Rich Brower, former coach at St. Louis U, looked upon to hit some outside shots. Collier posting up down inside against his zone.
On the baseline, Williamson rejects it from behind. Tulsa basketball.
No reset on the shot clock. The ball was blocked.
10 seconds on the shot clock. There's McDaniel. Clint McDaniel has come off the bench and made 3 baskets, including a 3. Wanza Johnson. He traveled.
Well, Jim, when you talk about the bench, Nolan Richardson doesn't have a guy on his squad that plays more minutes than 4 of the 5 starters for Tulsa. So they're used to playing at 20, 25 minutes.
Timeout called by Arkansas. Arkansas leads by 11.
And now for
Arkansas with the ball and an 11-point lead. Later tonight here, Michigan and Maryland. Most of the nation will be seeing that game.
Again, against the press, you notice Dillard and Remach all the way down the court. So if they beat the press, you've got two great perimeter shooters ready to attack. Great man-to-man. Matchup inside. Still Collier and Williamson. They can't get him the ball.
Arkansas now fighting the shot clock. Three-pointer. McDaniel now 4 for 4.
McDaniel, 3 points.
And 10 points.
When Nolan Richardson reached till he found the guy that was hot. And it's been McDaniel. He wasn't a starter in this game.
Tulsa can't find a player hot, especially their leading scorer, Gary Collier.
It's been buried in the zone. Here he is down low again. Nice
Lane. That's now 8. He scored 4 quick ones at the start of this game. Martin brings it across. Nice Johnny Steele. Turned his head and cost him. Wanza Johnson dunks it.
Jim, you can see that